This interactive map shows Orange County, Florida's database of flood locations, compiled from Hurricane Ian and Nicole reports, 311 calls, fire rescue responses, and historical flood hotspots. Each yellow point represents a documented flooding incident. The data was provided by Orange County Public Works Stormwater Management Division. As we zoom into the Reams Road corridor near Windermere, you can see a concentration of flood reports along this stretch. This area drains toward Lake Reams and has experienced repeated flooding at Rhea, S, and Fiquette roads during major storm events. These locations will be the focus of our forensic analysis. This video shows ground elevations in the Reams Road, Fiquette Road, and Summer Lake Park Boulevard area of southwest Orange County in Florida. This area experienced significant flooding during both Hurricane Ian in September 2022 and Hurricane Milton in October 2024, when Reams Road overtopped at 3 locations with water flowing south. The animation displays elevation changes at quarter-foot increments, starting at 95 feet above sea level, referenced to the North American vertical datum. As the animation increments upward by 0.25 feet, it reveals the remarkable flatness of the large wetland south of Reams Road. This wetland sits in the 95 to 96-foot elevation range and intersects Reams Road at 96.5 feet, near the Fiquette Road intersection. Reams Road overtops at elevation 98.4 feet on the westerly side. During Hurricane Milton, flood depth on the road reached approximately 6 inches, making it impassable to the Disney employee parking lot and significantly impacting residential communities in the surrounding area. The history of this wetland begins with the Swamp and Overflowed Lands Act of 1850, which granted these lands to individuals who would drain and fill them for agriculture. By the time of Reconstruction, extensive changes had already been made to this landscape. Citrus farming became very active in this area, and internal roads were constructed within the wetlands to support agricultural operations. These historical roads are now being detected by point cloud LiDAR surveys from 2018 to 2020, revealing features that were not previously visible. The first sign of serious trouble came in 1953, when the aquifer level rose significantly. The north side of Reams Road flooded and overtopped, leading to new canal cuts. However, these canals were too narrow and had too low a profile to handle major flood events. Critically, they did not follow the original natural sloughs that had historically drained this wetland. This departure from natural drainage patterns set the stage for recurring flood problems that persist to this day. The large wetland north and south of Reams Road is remarkably flat and was originally circumscribed by the 98-foot elevation contour. This wetland floods not because of surface water runoff, but due to the rise in the upper Floridan aquifer, which feeds it from the west side as the green swamp rises during flood events. The groundwater is not upwelling vertically across the large swamp. Instead, it flows in horizontally from the west side, which is the Lake Wales Ridge. The east side of the swamp is the Mount Dora Ridge, but the aquifer level declines as it reaches the eastern boundary. Reams Road was constructed sometime after 1890 and was a late addition to the traditional roadway network in this citrus-growing area. Because this was a wide swamp, Reams Road only connected to Fiquette Road on the west side late in the history of development. Crossing this wetland was a major undertaking, and today Reams Road acts as a low-rise impoundment berm separating the north and south sides of the wetland. As you will see shortly, in the mid-1960s, the construction of Disney World added another layer of complexity to an already compromised drainage system. The Disney system was isolated from the Reams Road wetland and lowered. The wetland south of Reams Road and west of Disney World must now flow through a bypass, which causes the water level in the wetland to rise 5 feet higher than the immediately adjacent Disney Canal during hurricane events. This wetland acts as a tailwater to the entire Reams Road area, flooding to elevation 97.1 feet during hurricanes. It is important to note that the drainage problems in this area predated Disney by over a decade. The 1953 floods and the inadequate canal responses had already created a compromised system. Disney's development altered the drainage further, but the fundamental issues trace back to the original departure from natural flow-way wetland patterns and the undersized infrastructure built in response to the 1953 flooding. All of the natural slough outfalls from this large wetland have been blocked over the years. The narrow canals cut after 1953 created a very constricted outfall for development on the north side of Reams Road. The intersection of Reams Road and Fiquet Road also floods regularly. The road itself has a very low profile, and the subdivisions built nearby comply with that road elevation, resulting in development which may be too low. The culverts under Reams Road have little clearance to the top of the road, and they are all small diameter. Wider systems like bridges would help, but the tailwater at 97.1 feet during major floods cannot be overcome by such improvements. In addition, the diverted flow in this large flat wetland, rimmed by the 98-foot contour, now runs over a north to south power line easement with culverts. These culverts have collapsed in one area, causing higher wetland water elevations on the west side. These sliders show the comparison between 1969 and 2021, with Disneyward construction underway in 1969, and virtually no development in the southwest part of Orange County, which turns into a completely different land cover with expanded residential development, which is still expanding today in accordance with the Orange County Horizons West Plan. The main limitation of this area is historical. Multiple generations of drainage alterations, beginning with post-1850 agricultural development, continuing through the inadequate 1953 flood response, and later modified by the Reedy Creek Drainage District, have collectively created the current flood-prone conditions. The Southside wetland remains elevated and is distinctly different from the parallel Butler chain of lakes to the east, which flows through the Disney system and does not have tailwater issues. This animation demonstrates the fine difference that just 4 inches of elevation makes across this landscape. The recently discovered internal wetland roads, now visible through modern LiDAR technology, remind us that this land has been manipulated for over 150 years. Understanding this complex history is essential for developing effective flood mitigation strategies for the communities that now call this area home. Next, we will move to statehood plats of the mid-1800s, which shows the landscape at the time of statehood, before heavy equipment started work in Florida. And finally, this is the 1890 survey map of Orange County, which shows the features as Orange County was about to change in a major way, and this was in the middle of the citrus boom which eventually died in 1895, but recovered by 1910.